Let's do the blessings before the Torah. Baruchu et Adonai Amvarak, Baruch Adonai Amavarak Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Melech Haolam Asher Bakar Banu Mikol, Amin Vinatan Lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Blessings before the Torah. Bless Adonai, who is to be blessed. Blessed is Adonai, who is to be blessed forever and ever. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who chose us from all the peoples and gave to us his Torah. Blessed are you, Lord, giver of Torah. Adonai spoke to Moses, saying, Send agents to scout the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelite people. Send one participant from each of their ancestral tribes, each one a chieftain among them. So Moses, by Adonai's command, sent them out from the wilderness of Paran, all of them being men of consequence, leaders of the Israelites. And these were their names: from the tribe of Reuben, Shammua son of Zakur; from the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat son of Hori; from the tribe of Judah, Caleb son of Jephunneh; from the tribe of Issachar, Igal son of Joseph; from the tribe of Ephraim, Uzziah son of Nun; from the tribe of Benjamin, Palti son of Raphu; from the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel son of Sodi; from the tribe of Joseph, namely the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi son of Susi; from the tribe of Dan, Amiel son of Gemali; from the tribe of Asher, Sethur son of Michael; from the tribe of Naphtali, Navi son of Vopshi; from the tribe of Gad, Geuel son of Maki. Those were the names of the participants whom Moses sent to scout the land. But Moses changed the name of Hosea, son of Nun, to Joshua. When Moses sent them to scout the land of Canaan, he said to them, Go up there into the Negeb, and on into the hill country, and see what kind of country it is. Are the people who dwell in it strong or weak, few or many? Is the country in which they dwell good or bad? Are the towns they live in open or fortified? Is the soil rich or poor? Is it wooded or not? And take pains to bring back some of the fruit of the land. Now it happened to be the season of the first ripe grapes. They went up and scouted the land from the wilderness of Zin to Rehob at Lebo Amath. They went up into the Negeb and came to Hebron, where lived Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai the Anakites. Now Hebron was founded 7 years before Zoan of Egypt. They reached the Wadi Eshkol, and there they cut down a branch with a single cluster of grapes. It had to be borne on a carrying frame by 2 of them, and some pomegranates and figs. That place was named the Wadi Eshkol because of the cluster that the Israelites cut down there. At the end of 40 days, they returned from scouting the land. They went straight to Moses and Aaron and the whole Israelite community at Kadesh in the wilderness of Paran. And they made their report to them and to the whole community as they showed them the fruit of the land. This is what they told him. We came to the land you sent us to. It does indeed flow with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. However, the people who inhabit the country are powerful, and the cities are fortified and very large. Moreover, we saw the Anakites there. Amalekites dwell in Negev region. Hittites, Jebusites, and Amorites inhabit the hill country, and Canaanites dwell by the sea and along the Jordan. Caleb hushed the people before Moses and said, Let us by all means go up, and we shall gain possession of it, for we shall surely overcome it. But the other men who had gone up with him said, We cannot attack that people, for it is stronger than we. Thus they spread calumnies among the Israelites about the land they had scouted, saying, The country that we traversed and scouted is one that devours its settlers. All the people that we saw in it are of great size. We saw the Nephilim there, the Anakites are part of the Nephilim, and we looked like grasshoppers to ourselves, and so we must have looked to them. The whole community broke into loud cries, and the people wept that night. All the Israelites rallied against Moses and Aaron. If only we had died in the land of Egypt, the whole community shouted at them. Or if only we might die in this wilderness. Why is Adonai taking us to that land to fall by the sword? Our wives and children will be carried off. It would be better for us to go back to Egypt. And they said to one another, "Let us head back for Egypt." Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembled congregation of Israelites. And Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh, of those who had scouted the land, rent their clothes, and exhorted the whole Israelite community. The land that we traversed and scouted is an exceedingly good land. If pleased with us, Adonai will bring us into that land, a land that flows with milk and honey, and give it to us. Only you must not rebel against Adonai. Have no fear then of the people of the country, for they are our prey. Their protection has departed from them, but Adonai is with us. Have no fear of them. As the whole community threatened to pelt them with stones, the presence of Adonai appeared in the tent of meeting to all the Israelites. And Adonai said to Moses, "How long will these people spurn me? And how long will they have no faith in me, despite all the signs that I have performed in their midst? I will strike them with pestilence and disown them, and I will make of you a nation far more numerous than they." But Moses said to Adonai, "When the Egyptians, from whose minds you brought up this people in your might, hear the news, they will tell it to the inhabitants of the land. Now they have heard that you, Adonai, are in the midst of this people, that you, Adonai, appear in plain sight when your cloud rests over them, and when you go before them in a pillar of cloud by day and in a pillar of fire by night. If then you slay these people wholesale, the nations who have heard your fame will say, 'It must be because Adonai was powerless to bring that people into the land, promised them on oath that God slaughtered them in the wilderness.' Therefore, I pray, let my Lord's forbearance be great, as you have declared, saying, 'Adonai, slow to anger and abounding in kindness, forgiving iniquity and transgression, yet not remitting all punishment, but visiting the iniquity of parents upon children, upon the third and fourth generations. Pardon, I pray, the iniquity of this people, according to your great kindness, as you have forgiven this people ever since Egypt.' And Adonai said, 'I pardoned, as you have asked. Nevertheless, as I live, and as Adonai's presence fills the whole world, none of those involved who have seen my presence and the signs that I have performed in Egypt and in the wilderness, and who have tried me these many times and have disobeyed me, shall see the land that I promise on oath to their fathers. None of those who spurn me shall see it. But my servant Caleb, because he was imbued with a different spirit and remained loyal to me, him will I bring into the land that he entered, and his offspring shall hold it as a possession. Now the Amalekites and the Canaanites occupy the valleys. Start out then tomorrow and march into the wilderness by the way of the Sea of Reeds." Adonai spoke further to Moses and Aaron, "How much longer shall that wicked community keep muttering against me? Very well. I have heeded the incessant mutterings of the Israelites against me. Say to them, 'As I live, says Adonai, I will do to you just as you have urged me. In this very wilderness shall your carcasses drop Of all of you men who were recorded in your various lists from the age of 20 years up, you who have muttered against me, not one shall enter the land in which I swore to settle you, save Caleb son of Jephunneh and Joshua son of Nun. Your children who you said would be carried off, these will I allow to enter. They shall know the land that you have rejected. But your carcasses shall drop in this wilderness. While your children roam the wilderness for 40 years, suffering for your faithfulness, until the last of your carcasses is down in the wilderness. You shall bear your punishment for 40 years, corresponding to the number of days, 40 days, that you scouted the land, a year for each day. Thus you shall know what it means to thwart me. I, Adonai, have spoken. Thus will I do to all that wicked band that has banded together against me. In this very wilderness they shall die and so be finished off. As for the agents whom Moses sent to scout the land, those who came back and caused the whole community to mutter against him by spreading calumnies about the land, those who spread such calumnies about the land died of plague by the will of Adonai. Of those involved in going to scout the land, only Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh survived. When Moses repeated these words to all the Israelites, the people were overcome by grief. Early next morning, their fighting force set out toward the crest of the hill country, saying, We are prepared to go up to the place that Adonai has spoken of, for we were wrong. But Moses said, Why do you transgress Adonai's command? This will not succeed. Do not go up, lest you be rooted by your enemies, for Adonai is not in your midst. For the Amalekites and the Canaanites will be there to face you, and you will fall by the sword, inasmuch as you have turned from following Adonai, and Adonai will not be with you. Yet defiantly they marched toward the crest of the hill country, though neither Adonai's ark of the covenant nor Moses stirred from the camp. And the Amalekites and the Canaanites who dwelt in that hill country came down and dealt them a shattering blow at Hormah. Adonai spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the Israelite people and say to them, When you enter the land that I am giving to you to settle in, and would present an offering by fire to Adonai from the herd or from the flock, be it burnt offering or sacrifice in fulfillment of a vow explicitly uttered, or as a freewill offering, or at your fixed occasions, producing an odor pleasing to Adonai. The person who presents the offering to Adonai shall bring as a meal offering a tenth of a measure of choice flour with a quarter of a hin of oil mixed in. You shall also offer with the burnt offering or the sacrifice a quarter of a hin of wine as a libation for each sheep. In the case of a ram, you shall present as a meal offering 2/10 of a measure of choice flour with a third of a hin of oil mixed in, and a third of a hin of wine as a libation, as an offering of pleasing odor to Adonai. And if it is in an animal from the herd that you offer to Adonai as a burnt offering or as a sacrifice, in fulfillment of a vow explicitly uttered, or as an offering of well-being, there shall be offered a meal offering along with the animal, 3/10 of a measure of choice flour with half a hin of oil mixed in. And as libation, you shall offer half a hin of wine, these being offerings by fire of pleasing odor to Adonai. Thus shall be done with each ox, with each ram, and with any sheep or goat. As many as you offer, you shall do thus with each one, as many as there are. Every citizen, when presenting an offering by fire of pleasing odor to Adonai, shall do so with them. And when, throughout the ages, a stranger who has taken up residence with you, or one who lives among you, would present an offering by fire of pleasing odor to Adonai, as you do, so shall it be done by the rest of the congregation. There shall be one law for you and for the resident stranger. It shall be a law for all time throughout the ages. You and the stranger shall be alike before Adonai. The same ritual and the same rule shall apply to you and to the stranger who resides among you. Adonai spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the Israelite people and say to them, When you enter the land which I am taking you, and you eat of the bread of the land, you shall set some aside as a gift to Adonai. As the first deal of your baking, you shall set aside a loaf as a gift. You shall set it aside as a gift like the gift from the threshing floor. You shall make a gift to Adonai from the first deal of your baking through the ages. If you unwittingly fail to observe any one of the commandments that Adonai has declared to Moses, anything that Adonai has enjoined upon you through Moses, from the day that Adonai gave the commandment and on through the ages. If this was done unwittingly, through the inadvertence of the community leaders shall present one bull of the herd as a burnt offering of pleasing odor to Adonai, with its proper meal, offering, and libation, and one he-goat as a sin offering. The priest shall make expiation for the whole Israelite community, and they shall be forgiven. For it was an error, and for their error they have brought their offering, an offering by fire to Adonai, and their sin offering before Adonai. The whole Israelite community and the stranger residing among them shall be forgiven. For it happened to the entire people through error. In case it is an individual who has sinned unwittingly, that person shall offer a she-goat in its first year as a sin offering. The priest shall make expiation for Adonai on behalf of the person who erred, for having sinned unwittingly, making such expiation that the person may be forgiven. For the citizen among the Israelites and for the stranger who resides among them, you shall have one ritual for any one who acts in error. But the person, whether citizen or stranger, who acts defiantly, reviles Adonai, that person shall be cut off from among the people. Because it was the word of Adonai that was spurned, and God's commandment that was violated, that person shall be cut off and bears the guilt. Once, when the Israelites were in the wilderness, they came upon a man gathering wood on the Sabbath day. Those who found him as he was gathering wood brought him before Moses and Aaron and the community leadership. He was placed in custody, for it had been specified what should be done to him. Then Adonai said to Moses, The party in question shall be put to death. The community leadership shall pelt him with stones outside the camp. So the community leadership took him outside the camp and stoned him to death, as Adonai had commanded Moses. Adonai said to Moses as follows, Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on the corners of their garments through the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the fringe at each corner. That shall be your fringe. Look at it and recall all the commandments of Adonai and observe them, so that you do not follow your heart and eyes in your lustful urge. Thus you shall be reminded to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I, Adonai, am your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I, your God, Adonai. Blessings after the Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu et Torato, Torat emet, v'chayai olam nata bitochenu, Baruch atah Adonai noten ha-Torah. Blessings after the Torah. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who gave us the Torah of truth and set everlasting life in our midst. Blessed are you, Lord, giver of the Torah. Blessings before the Haftorah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bakar bin v'im tovim v'ratza v'devarim anemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai aboker batorah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Israel amo uninvei aemet va'zedek. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who has chosen good prophets and was pleased with their words that were uttered with truth. Blessed are you, Adonai, who chooses the Torah and Moses, God's servant, and Israel, God's people, and the prophets of truth and righteousness. Joshua son of Nun secretly sent 2 men from Shittim as spies, saying, Go reconnoiter the region of Jericho. So they set out, and they came to the house of a certain prostitute named Rahab, and lodged there. The king of Jericho was told, Some men have come here tonight, Israelites, to spy out the country. The king of Jericho thereupon sent orders to Rahab, Produce the men who came to you and entered your house, for they have come to spy out the whole country. The woman, however, had taken the 2 men and hidden them. It is true, she said, the men did come to me, but I didn't know where they were from. And at dark, when the gate was about to be closed, the men left, and I don't know where the men went. Quick, go after them, for you can overtake them. Now she had taken them up to the roof and hidden them under some stalks of flax that she had lying on the roof. So the men pursued them in the direction of the Jordan down to the fords, and no sooner had the pursuers gone out than the gate was shut behind them. The spies had not yet gone to sleep when she came up to them on the roof. She said to the men, I know that God has given the country to you, because dread of you has fallen upon us, and all the inhabitants of the land are quaking before you. For we have heard how God dried up the waters of the Sea of Reeds, for when you left Egypt, and what you did to Sihon and Og, the 2 Amorite kings across the Jordan whom you doomed. When we heard about it, we lost heart, and no one had any more spirit left because of you. For the eternal your God is the only God in heaven above and on earth below. Now, since I have shown loyalty to you, swear to me by God that you in turn will show loyalty to my family. Provide me with a reliable sign that you will spare the lives of my father and mother, my brothers and sisters, and all who belong to them, and save us from death. The men answered her, Our lives are pledged for yours, even to death. If you do not disclose this mission of ours, we will show you true loyalty when God gives us the land. She let them down by a rope through the window, for her dwelling was at the outer side of the city wall, and she lived in the actual wall. She said to them, Make for the hills, so that the pursuers may not come upon you. Stay there in hiding 3 days until the pursuers return, then go your way. But the men warned her, We will be released from this oath that you have made us take, unless when we invade the country, you tie this length of crimson cord to the window through which you let us down. Bring your father, your mother, your brothers, and all your family together in your house. And if anyone ventures outside the doors of your house, their blood will be on their head, and we shall be clear. But if a hand is laid on anyone who remains in the house with you, their blood shall be on our heads. And if you disclose this mission of ours, we shall likewise be released from the oath that you made us take. She replied, Let it be as you say. She sent them on their way, and they left, and she tied the crimson cord to the window. They went straight to the hills and stayed there 3 days until the pursuers turned back. And so the pursuers, searching all along the road, did not find them. Then the 2 men came down again from the hills and crossed over. They came to Joshua son of Nun and reported to him all that had happened to them. They said to Joshua, God has delivered the whole land into our power. In fact, all the inhabitants of the land are quaking before us. Blessings after the Haftorah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zer kol haolamim, Zadik, Vekol Adoret Ahel Ane Eman, Aomer Vas Ose, Am Daber Chaim, Shekol Devarav Emet Vadzedek. Neeman Ata Adonai Elohenu, Vene Emanim Devareka, Vedavar Echad Mid Evarakecha, Achor Lo Yashiv, Recham Ki El Melech Neeman, Verachamam Ata, Baruch Ata Adonai A El Aneeman, Bechol Devarav. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, rock of all eternities, righteous in all generations, the faithful God who says and does, who speaks and fulfills, all of whose words are true. Faithful are you, Lord our God, and faithful are your words. Not one of your words turns back unfulfilled, for you, O God, are a faithful and compassionate King. Blessed are you, Lord, the God who is faithful in all his words.